She's never met someone she couldn't read. Until you. Every man before followed the same script. They reacted when she tested. They chased when she pulled back. They overcompensated when they felt her attention drift. Predictable loops she could navigate blindfolded. Then you walked in and the entire system collapsed. She throws a playful insult your way. Most men laugh too hard or fire back defensively. You just smile. Barely. Like you heard a distant joke that amused you internally. No performance. No escalation. Just acknowledgement and stillness. That tiny moment breaks her calibration. She withdraws slightly. Delays a text. Creates subtle distance. The usual response involves men doubling their effort. Longer messages. More questions. Visible panic dressed as casual interest. You don't flinch. You reply when it makes sense. Same tone. Same energy. Like nothing shifted at all. Now she's off balance. She leans in with warmth. Gives clear signals. Opens the door wider. Most men sprint through it. They over-celebrate the moment. They amplify everything. Match her energy and double it. You receive her warmth. You reciprocate appropriately. But you don't explode with gratitude. You don't suddenly become a different person because she smiled at you. Your temperature never changes. Most men are emotional billboards. Interest broadcasts through urgency. Insecurity leaks through excessive explanation. Ego announces itself with forced dominance. Within 10 minutes she knows exactly what she's dealing with. Where the cracks are. What buttons trigger what responses. The entire map reveals itself automatically. With you the map doesn't exist. She can't find the entry points. Can't locate the emotional levers. Your internal state feels locked behind a door she can't even find, let alone open. You're engaged without being available for manipulation. Present without being controlled by her proximity. That combination shouldn't exist. Yet here you are. She's used to men who adjust themselves in real time. Their mood bends toward hers. Their energy matches whatever she's offering. Their entire demeanor shifts based on whether she's warm or cold. Their thermometers reflecting the temperature she sets. You're not a thermometer. You're a thermostat. You maintain your setting regardless of external conditions. When someone operates independently of her influence, the entire dynamic rewrites itself. She can't steer you emotionally. Can't use distance to create chase or warmth to create overflow. The usual toolkit stops working. Not because you're resisting her specifically, but because your emotional state doesn't run on external fuel. You've built something she rarely encounters. An internal system that doesn't require constant validation to stay operational. Self-contained equilibrium that doesn't beg for approval or collapse under withdrawal. Most men reveal their position within minutes. Desperate. Interested. Playing games. Genuinely detached. The signals come through clear and obvious. You reveal nothing. Not because you're hiding, but because your stability doesn't create obvious signals. It just exists. Quietly. Consistently. Without explanation. And that existence without justification feels completely foreign to someone who's spent years reading men like open books. The book is still open. She just doesn't recognize the language yet. She has a toolkit. Moves that have worked for years. Strategies she doesn't even think about anymore because they're automatic. Small manipulations that aren't malicious, just effective. Until they stop working entirely. First move. She creates distance. Not obvious withdrawal. Just subtle cooling. Shorter responses. Slightly longer gaps between messages. Less enthusiasm in her tone. This move has a 90% success rate. Men notice immediately. They compensate. They try harder. They reveal how much her attention matters. You don't compensate. Your energy stays identical. Same response time. Same tone. Same level of investment. Like you didn't even register the shift. Or you registered it and simply didn't care enough to adjust. She can't tell which. That ambiguity bothers her more than she expects. Second move. She radiates warmth. Turns up the charm. Laughs more. Touches your arm. Gives you her full attention in ways that make most men melt visibly. Their pupils dilate. Their posture opens. They lean in like plants towards sunlight. You receive it well. You're pleasant, engaged, but you don't transform. Don't suddenly become more eager. Don't start working harder to keep that warmth flowing. You accept it the same way you accepted the distance, with calm acknowledgement and zero desperation. The feedback loop she relies on just broke. Third move. She introduces mild tension, a slightly sharper edge to her words, a comment with hidden weight, a reference to another option hovering in her periphery. This move usually triggers immediate defensiveness or competitive energy. Men either tighten up or puff up. Either way they reveal their hand. You do neither. You acknowledge the tension without amplifying it. Maybe you address it directly with one clean sentence. Maybe you let it pass without comment. Either way you don't take the bait. Don't feed the friction. Don't give it oxygen to grow. She's testing the structure, looking for weak points, places where pressure creates cracks. Every man has them. Ego, insecurity, need for validation, fear of loss. She's not trying to hurt anyone. She's just mapping the terrain like she always does. Except your terrain has no obvious fault lines. The tools that gave her control in every previous interaction become useless. Distance doesn't create pursuit. Warmth doesn't create overflow. Tension doesn't create reaction. You're somehow both present and unmovable. Engaged but not hooked. Interested without being desperate. That's not supposed to be possible. Most men operate on a simple equation. She adjusts input. They adjust output. Cause and effect. Action and reaction. She's learned to predict outcomes with uncomfortable accuracy. You've removed the equation entirely. Her inputs don't determine your outputs. Your responses come from somewhere internal. Some center point she can't access or influence or even locate. You're not playing defense against her moves. You're just not playing the game at all. And when one person refuses the game, the other person doesn't know how to keep score anymore. Your composure without visible effort feels impossible. She watches people all day struggle to hold themselves together. Co-workers who crack under minor stress. Friends who spiral over unanswered texts. Men who can't hide their emotions for 5 consecutive minutes. Then there's you. Perpetually level. No cracks showing. Her brain demands an explanation. Something this consistent can't be effortless. There has to be machinery behind it. Hidden gears. Suppressed chaos. Some kind of system holding everything in place. Theory 1. You're suppressing everything. Pushing down massive emotions behind a controlled exterior. Like a pressure cooker about to blow. She looks for signs. Tension in your jaw. Tightness in your shoulders. Moments where the mask slips. Nothing. You're not suppressing. You're genuinely calm. Theory 2. You're strategically detached. Playing some long game. Keeping distance to build attraction. Using calculated coolness as manipulation. This theory has legs. Lots of men try this. But they always slip. Show their cards too early. Get impatient with their own strategy. You show no impatience. No strategy creeping through the edges. If this is performance, you've committed completely. Theory 3. You're emotionally unavailable. Damaged somehow. Built walls so high nothing gets through. She tests this. Shares something vulnerable. Watches for shutdown or deflection. You engage. Ask questions. Show genuine interest. Respond with appropriate depth. That kills Theory 3 instantly. Theory 4. You just don't care enough. She's reading importance into indifference. Maybe your steadiness around her just means she doesn't matter much. Easiest explanation. Occam's razor. Except you keep showing up. Keep investing time. Keep engaging with consistency that wouldn't exist if you didn't care. Indifferent men disappear. You stay. Every theory breaks against the same wall. You demonstrate genuine interest without demonstrating instability. You show care without showing need. You engage without drowning. These things aren't supposed to coexist. What she's actually witnessing is simpler than any theory. Your emotional state doesn't depend on external validation. Not because you're above needing people, but because you've trained yourself not to be controlled by each individual interaction. You're not trading reactions for attention. Not inflating responses to create artificial momentum. Not performing enthusiasm you don't genuinely feel. You're operating from an internal reference point that doesn't shift based on her proximity. Most people she knows are externally regulated. Their mood depends on how they're treated. Their confidence relies on recent feedback. Their emotional weather changes with every social breeze. You're internally regulated. Your baseline doesn't move. Good interaction or bad interaction. Warmth or distance. Attention or absence. You return to the same center point. She's never encountered a center point she couldn't disrupt. Everyone has triggers. Everyone has buttons. She's not trying to hurt people. She's just learned that everyone eventually reveals their reactive spots. Except you keep not revealing yours. Not through strength of will, but through genuine absence. The buttons she's looking for simply aren't installed in your system. Conversations with most men accelerate naturally. Energy climbs. Stakes rise. Everything moves faster as connection builds. Forward momentum that either crashes spectacularly or peaks into something intense. With you, everything flattens into something sustainable. She notices it immediately. The pace feels different. Slower but not boring. Deliberate but not calculated. Like you're moving at exactly the speed you intended regardless of external pressure. Most men speed up when they sense interest. They escalate effort. Push conversations deeper faster. Try to capitalize on momentum before it disappears. Their urgency leaks through every interaction. You don't speed up. Don't slow down artificially either. You just maintain. Same rhythm whether she's warm or cool. Same energy whether things are flowing or stalling. Consistent tempo that never wavers. Silence arrives in the conversation. That moment where most men panic slightly. Rush to fill the gap. Say something. Anything. Keep the energy from dropping. Prove they're interesting enough to maintain momentum. You let the silence sit. Completely comfortable. No scrambling. No forced topic. No visible anxiety about dead air. You exist in the pause like it's just another part of the rhythm. That comfort with empty space hits different. It suggests you don't need constant stimulation to feel secure. Don't require verbal validation every 30 seconds. Can exist in stillness without interpreting it as failure. She finds herself slowing down to match you. Not consciously at first, but her own pace adjusts. She stops trying to create artificial energy. Stops filling every gap. Starts letting moments breathe. Your rhythm is contagious. And it operates at a lower frequency than she's used to. Most interactions feel like mutual escalation. She brings energy. He matches and raises. She raises back. Everything spirals upward until someone exhausts themselves. It's thrilling but unsustainable. Exciting but draining. You don't escalate. You stabilize. When her energy spikes, you don't amplify it. You receive it calmly. Acknowledge it without matching intensity. Like a shock absorber that prevents the whole system from rattling apart. She feels a sudden wave of interest, enthusiasm about something, excitement that makes her more animated. Most men interpret this as invitation to search. They overflow with matching enthusiasm. Double her energy. Turn everything up. You smile. Nod. Stay exactly where you were energetically. Present but not overwhelmed. Engaged but not consumed. And because you don't amplify her spike, she experiences it more purely on her side. That solo awareness makes her self-conscious. She notices her own emotional weather more clearly because yours isn't creating interference. She sees herself getting excited while you stay level. Feels the imbalance. Becomes aware of her own fluctuations. Most men are mirrors. They reflect her energy back amplified. You're a still lake. She can see her own reflection clearly because you're not creating ripples. That clarity feels exposing. She's watching herself operate in real time. Seeing her patterns. Her spikes. Her withdrawals. All highlighted against your unwavering baseline. The interaction becomes less about managing you and more about observing herself. She decides to test the structure. Not maliciously. Just instinctively. Everyone has breaking points. Everyone reacts eventually. She just needs to find the right pressure point. Test 1. Sharper tone. She adds edge to her voice. A comment with slight bite. Not aggressive but noticeably cooler. Most men either match the sharpness or immediately soften to compensate. They take the bait one way or another. You absorb it completely. Don't mirror the edge. Don't rush to smooth it over. Just continue at your baseline. Acknowledge her words without shifting your energy. Like her tone change registered but didn't warrant adjustment. She expected reaction. Got nothing. Test 2. She mentions another option. Casually drops a reference to someone else showing interest. Not obvious. Just enough to introduce competition. This move triggers male ego like clockwork. They either puff up or tighten. Show jealousy or fake indifference badly. You acknowledge it neutrally. Maybe nod. Maybe say something brief. Zero tightening in your posture. No competitive energy entering your voice. No sudden increase in effort. You heard her. You just don't seem threatened. That's not normal. Test 3. She delays responses. Takes hours to reply when she used to take minutes. Creates artificial distance through timing. Men always notice. They either mirror the delay passive-aggressively or increase their frequency to compensate. You continue at your exact same pace. Same response time. Same message length. Same tone. Like her timing shift never happened. Or happened and simply didn't matter enough to acknowledge. The toolkit is completely useless now. She tries vulnerability. Shares something real. Something personal. Watches to see if you'll overflow with premature intimacy. Rush to match her depth. Use her openness as invitation to dump your own. You listen. Ask one good question. Respond with appropriate care. Then stop. Don't exploit the moment. Don't suddenly escalate emotional intensity. Just receive what she offered and stay grounded. Even genuine connection doesn't destabilize you. Most men reveal their insecurities through subtle urgency. Replies come slightly too fast. Explanations run slightly too long. Reassurance gets offered before it's requested. The neediness leaks through the edges. Your timing never changes under any condition. Good conversation or awkward silence. Her warmth or her distance. Nothing alters your operational pace. And consistency under variable conditions signals something she's drawn to without fully understanding why. Internal strength. Real structural stability. Not performance. She realizes she can't trigger you. Can't find the emotional lever that makes you react. Not because you're made of stone, but because the levers she's trained to pull aren't connected to your system. Other men are button operated. Push here, get anger. Push there, get insecurity. Push that spot, get desperate affection. Predictable cause and effect. You're not button operated. You're principle operated. Something internal guides you. Not her behavior. Not social pressure. Not fear of loss. Some center she can't access because it doesn't depend on external input. The game she didn't know she was playing just ended. Not because you won, but because you never entered. Disagreement finally arrives. Something substantive. A real point of friction that can't be smoothed over with pleasantries. She's seen this moment destroy men's composure countless times. Most guys escalate immediately. Their voice rises to match hers. Their tone sharpens in response to sharpness. Energy meets energy. The whole thing heats up until someone dominates or someone retreats. You do the opposite. You decelerate. Your words slow down slightly. Your volume drops instead of rising. Your tone gets quieter, not louder. Like you're intentionally lowering the temperature while she's trying to raise it. This shouldn't work. But it does. She comes in hot. You respond cool. Not dismissive cool. Not condescending cool. Just measured. Calm. Like you're discussing something important that deserves careful attention, not emotional reaction. The contrast is jarring. She hears herself sounding heated against your steadiness. The imbalance makes her self-aware. Makes her adjust downward without you asking. You address the actual issue. One clear statement. No circular arguing. No rehashing. No bringing up past grievances. You say what needs saying and stop talking. Most men either say too much or too little. They either over-explain defensively or shut down completely. You land exactly in the middle. Enough words to be clear. Not enough to spiral. Then you move forward. Don't linger in the conflict. Don't need to win. Don't require her to admit fault. You state your position and continue living. Like the disagreement was a moment, not an event. She's used to conflicts that metastasize. Small issues becoming referendums on the entire relationship. One argument spawning 6 more. Everything connected to everything else until nobody remembers what started it. You contain it. Address it once. Then release it. No grudge. No passive aggression later. No bringing it back up 3 days from now. It happened. It's handled. It's over. That clean conflict resolution does something unexpected. It builds respect. She realizes you're not conflict avoidant. You're conflict efficient. You don't fear disagreement. You just refuse to let it become theater. Won't feed drama. Won't participate in emotional escalation that serves no purpose. Emotional intensity needs fuel. Needs both people feeding the fire. You don't provide any fuel. Not because you're withdrawn, but because you've decided chaos doesn't deserve your energy. Most men reveal their insecurities during conflict. They get defensive, overreact, take things personally, let their ego run the conversation. Within minutes she can see exactly where they're fragile. You stay structurally sound. Nothing she says cracks your foundation. Not because you don't care, but because your worth isn't being debated. You're discussing a specific issue, not defending your entire existence. That separation between problem and identity keeps everything clean. The issue is the issue, not a reflection of your value, not a test of the relationship, just something to address and move past. She's never watched someone dissolve tension through pure steadiness before. It rewrites what she thought conflict had to be. Something shifts. She can't pinpoint exactly when, but the unfamiliar stops feeling threatening and starts feeling grounding. Your steadiness used to confuse her. Now it anchors her. She realizes your mood doesn't swing based on her behavior. Good day or bad day. Responsive or distant. Affectionate or preoccupied. You remain fundamentally the same person. That consistency removes a weight she didn't know she was carrying. Most men she's known are emotional hostages. Their happiness depends on how she treats them. Their confidence relies on her validation. Their entire state fluctuates with her attention. It's exhausting being responsible for another person's stability. You're responsible for your own. She can have an off day without you falling apart. Can be stressed without you taking it personally. Can be quiet without you panicking about what it means. That independence gives her permission to just exist. Not perform. Not manage. Not calibrate her every move based on how it might affect you. She starts noticing how safe this feels. Real safety. Not the fake safety of someone who's always nice. The genuine safety of someone who's consistently solid. You won't explode randomly. Won't withdraw without warning. Won't punish her emotionally for minor infractions. Won't make her guess where she stands based on mood shifts she has to decode. Predictability in character builds trust in ways intensity never could. Many people confuse chaos with passion. The drama feels alive. The unpredictability feels exciting. Emotional volatility masquerades as depth. She's been there. Mistaken turbulence for connection. But turbulence is just turbulence. It wears you down. Makes you anxious. Keeps you off balance. Exciting at first. Exhausting long term. Your calm is the opposite. Unexciting at first. Strengthening over time. Her nervous system starts adjusting. The constant low-level anxiety she didn't realize she carried begins dissolving. She's not bracing for the next emotional curveball. Not preparing for sudden shifts. Not walking on eggshells around your ego. You're not fragile. Don't need careful handling. Can receive feedback without shattering. Can give feedback without attacking. Operate from enough internal security that external friction doesn't destabilize everything. She watches you handle stress from other areas. Work pressure. External problems. Life complications. Your baseline barely moves. You deal with things. Process them. Move forward. No spiraling. No catastrophizing. No emotional flooding. That regulation isn't suppression. You're not stuffing everything down. You feel things. You just don't let feelings run the entire operation. Emotions inform you. They don't control you. Most people are controlled by their emotional weather. You have emotional weather, but you're not the weather. You're the person experiencing it, observing it, responding to it consciously. She's never been with someone who has that much space between stimulus and response. That gap is where your power lives, where choice happens, where you decide what deserves reaction and what deserves release. Watching you operate from that place does something to her. Makes her want to build that same gap in herself. Your stability doesn't just comfort her. It challenges her to develop her own. The questions in her mind completely transform. She's no longer trying to figure out what you're thinking. She's understanding how you're built. This isn't mystery. It's architecture. And she's finally seeing the blueprint. You show attachment differently than anyone she's encountered. Most men demonstrate interest through intensity, grand gestures, overflow of attention, dramatic declarations, love as performance. You demonstrate interest through reliability. You show up consistently. Same quality of presence whether it's week 1 or week 30. No fade, no decline, no bait and switch where effort disappears after conquest. That sustained presence communicates more than any passionate speech ever could. She notices you don't overcorrect to maintain attraction. Don't suddenly become more interesting when you sense her drifting. Don't perform extra value when competition appears. Just continue being exactly who you've been. That refusal to shapeshift suggests you're not trying to win her. You're allowing her to choose you accurately, based on who you actually are, not some amplified version you can't sustain. Most men reveal depth through words. Long conversations about their feelings. Explanations of their character. Descriptions of who they are. Telling instead of showing. You reveal depth through patterns. How you handle frustration repeatedly. How you treat service workers consistently. How you maintain boundaries across situations. Your character isn't what you claim. It's what you demonstrate over time. She starts trusting the patterns more than any words. Patterns don't lie. Can't be faked long term. Show actual priorities and real values through accumulated action. Your standards become visible without announcement. You don't lecture her about respect. But when something crosses a line, you address it once cleanly. Then you adjust your behavior accordingly. Pull back if needed. Create distance if necessary. No drama. Just consequence. That clean enforcement teaches her your boundaries without conflict. She learns where the edges are through experience, not through threats or ultimatums. Just through your consistent response to misalignment. Most men negotiate their standards constantly. Bend them to keep someone around. Lower them to avoid conflict. Compromise them to maintain access. Their boundaries are suggestions. Yours are structures. They don't move. Don't flex based on how much you like someone. Apply universally. Protect your peace non-negotiably. She realizes you're not calm because life is easy. You're calm because you've built discipline. Daily discipline. The kind that compounds. That transforms temperament over years, not days. That discipline wasn't given to you. Wasn't natural. Was developed through repeated choice. Choosing steady over reactive. Choosing response over reaction. Choosing principle over impulse. Thousands of small decisions that built new default patterns. She sees the work behind the result now. Understands your composure costs something. Required sacrifice. Demanded consistent effort. Isn't personality. Is practice become permanent. That earned quality makes it more impressive. You're not naturally unshakable. You built unshakable. Constructed it deliberately. And construction suggests capability. Suggests you can build other things too. Suggests internal agency most people lack. The confusion is completely gone. Replaced with clear recognition. You're not hiding emotion. You're governing it. Not avoiding attachment. Managing it. Not playing games. Operating from tested principles. This is where everything crystallizes into final understanding. Your stillness was never the problem. It was always the answer she hadn't learned to recognize yet. She sees it clearly now. Your composure isn't about managing her. Never was. It's about governing yourself. And someone who governs themselves well creates stability that fireworks never replicate. Most men seek control over the situation. over her responses, over outcomes. They manipulate, they strategize, they try to steer everything toward desired results. Control projected outward. You practice control inward, over your reactions, over your impulses, over your emotional reflexes. That internal governance removes the need for external manipulation. You're not trying to control her because you've achieved control over yourself. That distinction changes everything. She stops analyzing your moves because she finally understands you're not making moves. You're living principles, operating from tested values, responding from developed character. Not tactics, not strategy, just consistent application of internal standards. Your pace never belonged to the moment. It belonged to your long-term vision. You don't speed up when connection deepens because premature acceleration destroys foundations. You don't panic when uncertainty appears because uncertainty is part of every worthwhile process. That long view creates short-term steadiness. You're never reacting to just this moment. You're building towards sustainable connection. And sustainable requires proper pacing. Most men operate in sprints. Intense effort followed by collapse. All in then all out. Maximum energy until burnout. Exciting but unsustainable. You operate in marathons. Steady, sustainable pace. Energy management. Strategic rest. Consistent progress without destruction. Less exciting initially. More powerful ultimately. She realizes the confusion she felt was actually recalibration. Her system adjusting from chaos to order. From intensity to sustainability. From reaction to response. The discomfort wasn't warning. It was growth. Your emotional steadiness eliminates the scoreboard entirely. No tracking who cared more today. No measuring effort. No calculating investment ratios. Just two people existing together without competition. When measurement disappears, presence becomes possible. Real presence. Not performance. Not positioning. Just being. She understands now that your strength isn't in what you do. It's in what you don't do. Don't overreact. Don't chase validation. Don't compromise standards. Don't feed chaos. Don't participate in games. That subtraction created your power. You removed weakness more than you added strength. Eliminated reactive patterns. Deleted ego-driven responses. Stripped away neediness. What remained was solid. Most people build by addition. Adding skills. Adding knowledge. Adding techniques. You built by subtraction. Removing what didn't serve. Cutting away what created instability. Carving down to essential strength. The connection either deepens naturally now or dissolves peacefully. Either outcome reflects health. Forced continuation serves no one. Authentic alignment needs no force. She's not confused anymore. She's decided. Your stillness didn't hide anything. It revealed everything. Showed exactly who you are through unwavering consistency. No performance. No pretense. Just sustained demonstration of disciplined character. That's the type of man worth choosing. The type worth keeping. The type worth building something real with. If this resonated with you, subscribe. More truth coming. ***.